Nate, pleasure to meet you. I have already binge watched all of Finding Magic Mike,
Oh,
so
really? What do you think about
great
it?
job.
Thank you.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was really fun shooting it.
And I mean, for you, I guess going into it, what were you kind of expecting, and maybe how did those expectations change once you got to Vegas?
Yeah, so when I first initially got it, the invite from my friend sent me this Instagram like post. He sent it to me, and I saw it, and I was like, "What?" I'm just assuming that it's guys just giving lap dances, pretty much. I didn't know how dance intensive it actually was.
Mm.
And then I got there, and my mind was just blown away, you know. So that was my initial thought, was just like learning how to strip, and then like feeling comfortable in your own skin.
I was going to say, was that kind of your maybe biggest concerns going into it as well, that it would be so focused on the stripping aspect of it?
Yeah, because that's not necessarily like some like an avenue I want to go down, you know. Like, I mean, it's cool, but I just don't want to be known as like a guy that was stripping on TV. But
Yeah.
now, like seeing it and how everything unfolded, it's like you're an actual like dancer almost. So it was incredible.
I was gonna say the choreo is intense, and you guys picked it up really well. I mean, how
Yeah, yeah,
much
yeah.
kind of rehearsal did go into maybe even one number? How many rehearsals were there? How many hours do you think you put in?
So like typically a week looked like, I would say, probably like 4 or 5 hours of like dancing, just trying to remember this choreography. And then after that was like spacing and figuring out like movements and how to like kind of space yourself amongst each other. And then like at the end of the week is usually the big performance. So a lot of like choreography to begin with, and then it was like spacing, and then just the big performance. So I would say like roughly 4 or 5 hours a day,
Wow.
or 4 days a week. Yeah. So
That's
it
a
was
lot.
quite a bit. Yeah.
And I mean, when you did, decide to do the show, were you able to tell your friends and family, or did you have to wait till maybe the trailer came out? And what was the reaction when they found out what you've been up to?
Yeah. So my friends actually, I told my friends after, right? I told them in the beginning, and I was like, hey, I'm just going to try to do this. It's cool. I don't know if
Yeah.
I'm going to get called. And then I kind of went silent about it. And then after the whole show, I was like, you guys are going to be pretty uh, impressed at like how well it was. I guess like the idea of the show was just thought out. You know, everybody just thought it was just stripping, but
Yeah.
it's like so dance heavy. And my mom, same way, she thought it was just like a stripping show, and I was like, no, it's like this is so much different than what you actually think. So a lot of people are gonna be really really surprised, like pleasantly surprised, I would say.
Yeah. And obviously, there is stripping. I mean, you are the
Mm,
first one of the contestants to have to, and I think actually the only one to have to do a fully nude strip tease at one point, pretty early
yeah,
on in the
yeah.
show. Just what starts going through your mind when you figure out that's what you won? And, were you worried about overexposure, and what were those
Mm.
rehearsals like?
Well, the only thing I was worried about once I saw what I had to do, I was like, well, I'm probably just gonna drop my hat on national television, and everybody's just gonna see me, like, just like, I don't know. It was just, I don't. That was the first initial thought in my head. But I think it was like something that I really wanted to tackle with myself, and being exposed like that. You know, I wouldn't say I'm like an overly sexual person, but
Yeah.
I don't know, like I'm not that impressed with my butt, you know, and that's what I had to show. And I was like, you know what, like who cares? Like we all have butts, you know. So I just did it, and I was scared it wasn't really something that I wanted to win, but it was. I was there to do it, so
You
I was
pulled it
happy.
off.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the show does take kind of a more serious turn in one of the later episodes. Someone gets kicked off for breaking the rules, another person gets pretty badly injured, which, just how did those moments maybe shake up your confidence? And did it really start to feel real kind of in that point?
Yeah. Once somebody gets kicked off, that was like a whole new ball game, because like it was just like, oh, like they're actually serious about this thing. You know, we didn't know
Yeah.
anybody was gonna get kicked off. And then when they broke their ankle or their shin or whatever that was mind blowing too, and understanding that this is really serious stuff that we're doing,
Yeah.
um, with serious consequences, you know. And so just being able to understand that you have to like stretch, take everything with caution, and just do everything in your power to make sure that you're safe and then the safety of others around you.
Mm.
And then just like, then once it gets smaller, the group gets smaller, you're like, wow, this is like really, really intense. And so you are exposed to so much more stuff because like you have more talking to do, more interviews, you know, it's just like a lot of things. So
And for you, how was it being in Vegas, but having to be kind of sequestered and quarantined the whole time? It's like such a
yeah,
place where you want to be out and about doing everything, but you really couldn't, you weren't able to
yeah,
keep the
exactly.
safety of the cast and crew.
The what's funny is like you would try to go to sleep, but like there was just a big light that was just beaming in my window, so it just never seemed like it was nighttime. That was one of the kind of the messed up things that I was just trying to like tackle. But yeah, I don't know, like I'm not a Vegas person.
Okay.
So like being out on the strip and like doing all this stuff wasn't really like something I really wanted to do. I'm fine with just staying in my room and just chilling and being able to like be on the phone and talking to the guys on the hotel phones and just like kind of like getting the tea. But honestly, I was just living. I was just having fun, trying to stay composed and trying to win the 100K.
Yeah. And we'll put a spoiler alert in ahead of this, but you do make it to the final two. You get to perform in one of the real shows. Just what was the energy like when you actually are doing it in front of such a full audience? And I guess which portion of that final show were you most nervous about?
When the lights go off and pretty much the opening number starts, it starts with like me and Johnny up there, and it's just like the music starts and we're just like in it, and it was just a big adrenaline dump for the first like 3 songs.
Yeah.
And then we had to like stay composed because there were so many other numbers we had to do. And then we had like the big aerial performance, which requires a lot of strength, So yeah, I mean, I was nervous, but once you start, I don't know, I feel like me and Johnny can kind of like, we like have a little like light switch on, like we're off most of the time, but then once the lights go off and like the music starts, we're just like we turn into a different person.
Yeah, and you guys play well off of each other too, which is you have that good energy with each other, which I think is important.
Yeah, Johnny's he's an awesome dude. I wasn't too close with him in the beginning, but like later on I was like, oh, Johnny's like really cool. I just knew that he was like there for the competition to begin with.
Yeah.
And then he realized, he was like, oh, wait, like these guys are actually pretty cool. And he started opening up, which was really beautiful. And I'm glad that he did that.
And, you come out of the show, you didn't win, but you do come out of it with a job offer. Is that something you considered or will be doing, won't be doing? I guess.
Yeah, I'm still, it's still up in the air. I'm not too sure what's going to happen. I'm open to pretty much anything. So I had a great time there, and it's definitely been on my mind, but we'll see what the future holds for sure.
And last question I have for you is it does seem like this new movie, Magic Mike's Last Dance, will focus on maybe a new crop of dancers, just from what Adam has been saying in some of his interviews. I guess, is that something maybe you'd be interested in being part of if you could? And what is your pitch to Channing Tatum if you
yes.
got a minute with him?
yes, Channing, please put me in your movie. That'd be so dope. It'd be fun. Honestly, I've seen Adam talk about the last Magic Mike Last Dance, and it sounds like it's going to be really cool. He was saying that there might be some like cameos that he has to do, like the old group. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm trying to like imagine what it's about. So
right.
I don't know, but I would love that would be amazing to be in that movie, especially after this whole like process of being on the reality show and understanding that it is more about like dance and not about like just stripping and stuff, and just making whoever's in that chair or whoever's watching it feel special. And that's the really big takeaway that I've understood about Magic Mike brand is being able to make somebody feel comfortable, and making their night special.
Yeah. Well, I think you guys, mission accomplished for all of you.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed the show. Can't wait to see this movie that comes out next year as well. And hopefully we see you in it.
Oh, thank you.